was canceled, and we're going to break down Mid-Valley action coming up in the top of the 11 o'clock hour. That's when Carl's going to do a Mid-Valley recap for us. Now we're going to bring on Coach Paul Reyes of the Nikki Rowe Warriors. His game last night was canceled. Coach, how are you, sir?
Well, I'm doing okay today. It's weather affected us. We kind of wanted to get that game in, but it is what it is, and just got to move on to the next game.
Yeah, this was your last non-district game, right?
No, I have one more non-district game.
Okay, you've got one more non-district game. So this game, maybe it didn't weigh as heavily on you as I thought, because it was your last non-district.
Yeah, it was one of those. Coach Reyes and I talked, and we obviously we wanted to get the game in. We tried to push it back as late as possible as we could. Obviously, the weather didn't cooperate, and we were looking to reschedule, but just the situation and the times just didn't gel. And he's got a Thursday game, and I can understand that as a coach. And we didn't want to play a late Saturday game, so we just moved on to the next game.
But how great would it have felt of taking on another one of your former guys and coming out with a victory?
Well, it would have. Obviously, that's what we're always hoping for. We really wanted to play. We felt, we matched up well. I'm sure they're saying the same thing. I just felt like we were defensively and offensively. We're starting to gel a little bit and starting to pick up, and we really thought that, hopefully we get another game, and it was going to, just take us some more, bring us some more positive steps. And so it was unfortunate for us that we didn't get to play, but it would have been great to play against them.
Let's go back to your last action on the field. That was against Mercedes, a triple overtime game.
Double overtime.
Double overtime. I've heard back and forth whether it was 2 or 3, so I need to check my my facts on that one. Tell me about that contest.
Well, obviously, Mercedes with their coaching staff and Coach Adama, they do a great job with their team, and so we knew we had our hands full because they got some great athletes offensively and defensively. So I thought our coordinators, Coach Valero from defense and Coach Flores from the offense, did a great job of coming up with a game plan. And I was just happy for our kids, fighting for that win. It was a tough win, but it was a good win. And we were able to overcome it and overcome some mistakes, which is a plus. And having a win like we did, I thought it was very huge.
Coach, looking at your offense, how complex is it in the verbiage you use?
Not really at all. I don't consider myself a smart guy, so I got to keep it simple for me. So we're not complex at all. I'm one of those guys that say, the more you let the kids think, they're thinking too much. We want them to play, and so we're 1 word, 2 words guys, and for our plays, and so they know it, and we just use a lot of formations but we're in the same play.
Coach Reyes, hi, this is Carlos Roberto from 956 Sports. How are you doing today?
Just fine. How you doing?
Doing fine, Coach. Your defense, Coach, in that game against Mercedes, shooting the gaps, attacking style of defense, you shut them down in that double overtime period. Is the defense going to carry you guys? You're known for your offense. Well, the defense is playing great this year.
No, they have been playing outstanding. We've given up some big plays, and I think 2 of the plays at Mercedes, a 75-yard touchdown somewhere around there, and then another one that, we had the guy, and they just made some good plays, and we got to tackle a little better. But, we knew going into it, we said, we're not very big, but we thought we were good. We had good strength, and we're good speed, and so we said, we're going to be attacking because that's going to be, what we get. That's going to be what we can do. And for me, being on the offensive side for a long time, that's one of the things that I know just kind of can cause problems for the offense if you're bringing different from places and you're trying to guess on the offensive side. And but this is what we do, and so I think our defensive staff is doing a great job. And yes, our players have been really keeping us in the games right now.
You got the luxury of 2 quarterbacks out there. I saw 2 different quarterbacks being used in that game. Are you using a dual system quarterback, or was one guy hurt or the other? I'm not sure what your attack is with the quarterback situation.
Well, it's one of the areas that we always want to be consistent. Sometimes, people can look at it different ways, and you don't want to, you don't want to switch in and out, and some do, and but I think at both games that we had, I just think we needed a little extra spark, extra something,
sure.
And Sanchez came in and did that. But now he's coming in and playing pretty well, and I mean, I have no problems with switching in quarterbacks. I don't know if I'll do it like every series, but I think Sanchez deserves some playing time a little bit better, a little bit more, I should say. And but we're comfortable with both guys, because John's doing a great job, and Jesus comes in and does a great job himself.
Where do you see this team falling in the district, Coach? You guys feel like you can shoot for a district championship, take on Memorial, take on Matt Kai pretty tough?
That's the what we're always shooting for. That's always one of our goals, a district championship, and we're not as big as those other guys, but we think we got the guys that can compete, and our guys know it as well, and so we're that's always our goal, and that's what we can do, and I think if we can get everything going together, we can be one of those top teams.
Coach, here's the situation. You guys are in a district that's not very, I don't want to say tough, because Palmview, I think, is really good. I think Memorial is really tough. But you guys are playing pretty well. Your defense held at Cal Chelsea to, 27 yards rushing? I mean, this is something you guys haven't had before, is a really, really tough defense.
Yeah, I think the one thing that we kind of changed is that, a lot of times, we haven't been big in the last few years. Just the way I guess we get. I don't know, the canal water on this side of the field of McAllen doesn't work very well. I don't know, the vitamins run out, but and a lot of times we sit back and we're reading or playing, and when you get a lineman that gets on you and on you and on you, you're undersized. It affects you. So we're just going to that attacking defense, and right now it's paying dividends for us. We're just trying to be sound. We're not just blitzing the blitz. We're checking of everything that we need a counter back from for the offense. But so right now it's worked for us. Our kids are excited about it. They enjoy it. They have fun out there. And I mean, on the defensive side, if you're having fun and you can attack, most of the time good things happen.
Coach, the new turf there at the stadium, how is that different from last year's turf? Because I know that we had to replace it rather quickly. Give me the field that you play on. How is that different from what you've played on before?
Well, obviously it's brand new, so it's one of the top of the line from the company, and it felt pretty well. Our kids seem to enjoy it, and I know, we've replaced it pretty quick, and we had a little minor issues, but they was taken care of by our district, and so right now it feels pretty well. I mean, compared to the other fields, some of them are a little softer. This one's not as soft, which is good. I think the soft, it just doesn't lend to it as much as to the game. But it felt pretty well, and it looks pretty good, too.
How different is it when you guys go to a place that's got natural grass on it?
Well, we practice on grass all the time, and, I guess the only thing about that is, in weather situations or even if the ground is not solidified very well, sometimes you can lose your footing. But I mean, other than that, that's probably the advantage of turf. Being able to play with it in the weather, and I guess a little bit better footing.
And next week you welcome Laredo United. Have you started looking at their stuff already? Obviously, when the game against PSJ Memorial last night was canceled, did you automatically just say it's time to check on Laredo?
Yeah, we always get film early in the week, and so. We always prepare for the team, but then we always get a little peek, a little preview of the other team before we start really preparing. But last night with the game canceled, we got an early start with Laredo United, and obviously they're very talented, they're very tough, they're in the top 10 in our region. So it's going to be a big challenge for us, but it's a good test for us too.
This isn't the second Laredo team you face this year, is it?
No.
Okay. I for some reason I thought you had another Laredo team scheduled earlier in the season.
No, sir. This is just Laredo United.
Is this the same team that we played last year over there? I say we because I was a Rowe parent. I still am a Rowe parent.
Right.
Are these the same guys that we played last year?
They graduated a few, but they have a lot of their skill guys, a lot of their skill on the offensive side of the ball are back, and they got a few defensive guys, but they did graduate a few. But they're still pretty solid. They came in and they gave Churchill the run for the money, and they played very well against them. Obviously, they came in and played, Sheridan, who's been a tough opponent or a tough Valley opponent for the past few years, and we're able to pull out a victory on that one. So, we got our hands full, but our kids are ready for it, and right now they're actually all just watching film right now on Radio United.
Very nice. All right, Coach, we'll let you run, but we appreciate the time and wish you the best of luck next Friday night at McAllen's Veterans Memorial Stadium when you play host to Laredo United.
All right, we'll hope to see you all there.
You got it, Coach.
All right.
Coach Paul Reyes of the McAllen Nikki Rowe Warriors joining us here in the Huddle on Fox Sports 1700. My kids went to Rowe, so I've had the opportunity to attend several Rowe games, and Coach's offense, for some reason, a lot of people make it seem as if it's very difficult or it's very complex. And as you heard him say, hey, listen, I may not be the sharpest guy in the room, and I want to make sure that my offense is easy for me to understand. You guys think, he's far off track with that?
I don't think so. I think what a lot of that, what they run the spread, I think a lot of it has to do with the quarterback. If you have a very capable quarterback, he has to, read the defense, and sometimes it's a bubble screen.
But wait, when you talk about capable, are you talking athletically or intelligent?
A little bit of both. You got to have that football knowledge. You have to have that football mentality when you go into the game. You see the linebacker cheating up, you're not going to want to give the ball to the running back, or you're going to want to give it to your slot man cutting across in that little area where he was at. So I think that has a lot to do, and that's why he says that if you got the good athletes, they do a lot of reading. A lot of that is all done before the game. A lot of that is done during the week. You got to coach these players up. You got to tell them, look, when you see the linebacker coming over here, or you see the cornerback moving back, you got to make your adjustments.
No, I've actually been to his practices, and I've watched his. I think he's downplaying it because his teams are pretty smart. He's had some quarterbacks. He's Albert Chavez, Bosque. I can't remember his name. 2 years ago, they had that one.
Yeah.
What was his name?
Oh, man.
That kid could throw. Javi Obregon.
Obregon.
Yeah,
like one of the top
when he was
quarterbacks
at
in the
Mac
Valley.
High, he had all those kids. He's had some great talent, but it's the offense that, his verbiage is really cool. Like he said, it's a bunch of different formations. It's the same play in different formations. But they run them to a T, and when they run them well, look at all the yards they can put up.
Yeah, that offense it tends to hum when it's running very well. All right, we'll tell you what, Carlos, you got a Mid Valley report you're going to hook us up with as we kick off the next hour. Plus, Jake, who else do we have coming up on the show?
We've got Sherry Pioneers, Jason Wheeler. We've got Manny Gomez. People I think know him from Harlingen. And that'll be the wrap if we can't get Pan Am.
Yeah, we're going to reach out to our man Chris King from UTRGV. He's the athletic director. They actually had some games that were suspended and rescheduled for today because of the inclement weather. And we'll run down all the games that are going to be on today because I know that there's quite a few games. So stick around. It's more coming up right here on 956sports.com and Fox Sports Radio 1700.